NHL regular season recap, night 119. I hope. I'm too lazy to go check because it's already 12:45. Just 3 games tonight. The first one, the Panthers taking on the Penguins, and the Panthers continue their winning ways in this one. It's a tough loss for the Penguins. No goals in the first, and then in the second, the Panthers just take over. It's 4 unanswered goals for them. Tkachuk, Gadjevich, Ekblad, and Lundell all scoring before Brian Rust finally gets the first Penguins goal of the game. We head to the third, where Anton Lundell gets his second of the game to make it 5-1. Ludwig would add his first of the year to make it 5-2, but the game's long over at that point. Sergei Bobrovsky faces 27 shots and gives up just 2 for a .926 save percentage. Tristan Jarry, not a great night, giving up 5 on just 23 shots. Not a ton of shots either way here, but the Panthers definitely the better of the two teams. And with this win, the Panthers actually move within 2 points of the Boston Bruins. They've both played 53 games here, but the Bruins have 74 and the Panthers have 72. Meanwhile, the Penguins are all the way down 7 points out of the last wildcard spot. They do have 2 games in hand on those Red Wings and most of the teams between them and that wildcard spot, but definitely in a bit of a hole themselves. They need to start getting some points racked up on especially these other Eastern Conference teams. But for tonight, the Panthers get it done. 5-2 is the final. The Sharks taking on the Jets, and another pretty good little goalie duel here. Kaapo Kähkönen, the much busier of the 2 goalies, no surprise there. He faces 39 shots and gives up just 1. Connor Hellebuyck faces only 17, and he pitches the shutout. It's a tough loss for the Sharks. They, of course, get hammered in the shots, but you'd like to at least get a goal here to put up a fight for your goalie. Morgan Barron with the only goal in this one. It was 17:47 into the first period. Neil Pionk and Dylan Sandberg with the 2 assists. Not really too much else to talk about. It's a great game from both goalies, as expected from Hellebuyck, and once in a while, of course, Kähkönen throws these performances in there, pushing his trade value up further. We'll see whether or not he's an asset that gets moved at the deadline, but an expected win for the Jets. A tough effort from the Sharks, a great one from Kähkönen. I don't really have much else to say about this one. It's 1-0 in favor of Winnipeg. The last game of the night, the Minnesota Wild taking on the Arizona Coyotes, and I know they were on my thumbnail not long ago at all, but they're going back on it tonight because a couple nights ago I talked about a dagger game for them when they threw a lead to Nashville and ended up losing that game in regulation, allowing Nashville to climb ahead of them. They do the same tonight against Minnesota. They never had a lead in this game, but this is a game that you absolutely have to at least secure a point in, and Arizona's just not able to do that. In the first period, it's Eriksson Ek on the power play that makes it 1-0 Mini. In the second, Jonas Brodin with just his 3rd of the year makes it 2-0. Logan Cooley would score 5:21 into the 3rd to make it a 1-goal game, but Matt Boldy gets his 19th of the year to ice it, and it's a 3-1 final in favor of Minnesota. Marc-Andre Fleury continues to be pretty good. 25 of 26 for him. Connor Ingram also pretty good. 28 of 30, but of course just not enough goal support in this one. With this win, Minnesota is now 3 points out of a wild card spot behind St. Louis. They don't have any games in hand like Pittsburgh does, but for the Coyotes, they have 1 less game played than the Wild, but they're 5 points back now. Again, this is just a game that you absolutely have to have. That previous game against the Predators put them 6 points back of Nashville, so really, really tough spot for the Coyotes to be in. They're now 4th from the bottom in the West, and as far as depth from the last wildcard spot, they are 8 points behind St. Louis, who currently occupies that spot. So going to be giving some playoff updates in general throughout the rest of the year now that we're in the latter half, but this, again, just feels like a dagger in the heart of the Coyotes' playoff chances. These games are not ones that you can give away, especially without obtaining a single point, and tonight they find a way to do it yet again. But that is it for NHL regular season recap. Night 119, we have 12 games tomorrow, so I'm going to go get some rest, and we'll talk to you guys then.